Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm Get Good Guy, and today we're looking at the ever so hated and yet ever so popular Hellriegel 1915 Factory, or we could refer to it as how some players do as the only gun I use, or at the other end of the spectrum, the OPriegel. And that title is the inspiration for today's video. Is the Hellriegel still overpowered? Now I know that not everyone has felt that the Hellriegel is in fact overpowered due to analysing statistics, etc. But the vast majority of players have essentially agreed that at one point in time or another in Battlefield 1's life cycle, the Hellriegel was or is essentially too good. And usage numbers would hint at this pretty strongly. In fact, at the time of producing this video, the 15th of March 2018, the Hellriegel has so far accounted for 42.1% of SMG kills that day. And that used to be consistently higher as well. I personally feel that in the past, the Hellriegel has been overpowered, despite the stats that some people may point to. I feel like the argument that the Hellriegel wasn't overpowered centered around a perfect world scenario, and Battlefield doesn't give you a perfect world scenario, unless you're an aimbot, I guess. And I don't know about you, but I'm no aimbot. However, there's the possibility that things may have changed. After several patches, including the TTK 2.0 patch, which essentially reshaped the game, is the Hellriegel still overpowered? Or at least, is it still the most overpowered weapon in the assault class? In an attempt to answer that question, or form a solid opinion on it, which you may or may not agree with, I'll be undertaking 3 tasks. The first of those is a statistical analysis of the Hellriegel, making relevant comparisons with other weapons. And I know I just said that I disagreed with people basing their entire argument on stats, but that's why I have task 2 and 3. See? I'm using my brain here. So then in task 2, I'll be articulating the experiences I've had with the Hellriegel from the footage you're seeing on screen, and thus providing you with my own opinion on where the weapon currently stands. And then task 3 will be me jumping into a live game to give the Hellriegel a spin so we can analyse the weapon together and see how it performs on the battlefield. After all of that, we'll give it a final verdict. Right, I feel like that's a suitable intro. We all now know what's going to be occurring, and those of you here to dislike simply because you do or in fact don't like the Hellriegel will have probably already hit that dislike button. So now all of you actually interested in the video who are still here, let's get this thing off the ground. And hit like and share the hell out of this if you end up enjoying it. I appreciate it. I'm Get Good Guy, and this is my analysis of if the Hellriegel is still the OPriegel. Okay, let's talk about some statistics. I'm going to split this into 2 sections. First, I'll talk about the stats that I think are predominantly positives for the Hellriegel, and then I'll go through the negatives afterwards. So positives. Well, the Hellriegel Factory has a rate of fire of 650 rounds per minute, which puts it in the upper mid-range of being potent without being absolutely ridiculous. It's 100 rounds faster than weapons such as the MP18 and the Recoil, but 120 rounds slower than the SMG-08, and obviously far slower than the Automatico and the machine gun pistol. However, a slower rate of fire compared with those 2 weapons with a stat of 900 rounds per minute means that it's far more reliable where recoil is concerned. And in fact, the Hellriegel has very good vertical recoil stats when compared against the other assault class options as a whole. A stat of 0.384 puts it ahead of options like the RSC SMG Factory, the Recoil, the SMG-08, and even the MP18 Trench, which has pretty good vertical recoil itself. So basically, it's pretty easy to keep your crosshair at chest to head level with the Hellriegel, allowing you to do consistently high damage. It then has decent enough horizontal recoil stats to go with it, not great but good enough, and if you strafe side to side whilst firing, then it's also very easy to control this. You can then pair that controllable recoil with pretty good spread stats. When not moving, the Hellriegel's ADS spread is equal to many other options such as the MP18 Trench and the SMG-08 Factory. Once again, it's nothing to write home about, but it's solid. It is significantly beaten by something like the Recoil, but it's good enough for most engagements. Then, the ADS spread when moving is pretty standard, but this time beats out the Recoil. And you may be noticing a pattern here. The Hellriegel is pretty good at a lot of things without being truly great at them. And this then extends to Hipfire Spread, where it shares the same stats as a few other SMGs, whilst generally being beaten by trench variants and any factory variants designed for hipfire usage. But where it absolutely does excel is is the ammo stat, where it has 60 rounds available per reload. This is what most people have called for to be altered in order to better balance out the Hellriegel, especially at times when it was responsible for over 50% of all SMG kills per day on a consistent basis. But it can't all be positives, right? So what are the negative stats? Well, the Hellriegel factory actually deals less damage than some of its closest competitors. SMG options such as the MP18 and the Recoil deal 28 max damage. Admittedly though, this doesn't make a huge difference most of the time, but the Hellriegel does also though have pretty slow muzzle velocity, equal to that of the SMG08, so if you're trying to pick someone off from distance, the bullets can take a while to get there. It then has a slower deploy time than a lot of other SMGs and a pretty lengthy reload, which I'm glad is there to balance out the abundance of ammo you have at your disposal afterwards. And now to the negative recoil stats, because although the basic stats I gave you before are positives, some of the more in-depth recoil stats are absolutely negatives, such as the recoil decrease, which is equal to that of say the MP18, but is heavily beaten by something like the SMG08. It also has pretty heavy first shot spread and recoil multipliers, which makes tap firing ranged targets a little more tricky than I believe it used to be, although it is still absolutely possible, as you will have seen in a few clips I've used today. But then tie into all this that the time to kill and bullets to kill for the Hellriegel are pretty lackluster when compared with other assault options. Its lower max damage and less than special range stats make for a fairly mediocre looking package. Yet in practice, I'd wager that most people would say it doesn't really feel like it, because of how easy the Hellriegel is to control. I think we can agree that as a whole, the negatives aren't all that substantial, and although most of the positives aren't exactly extreme positives, the stats seem to show that they comfortably outweigh the negatives. And with that, we've covered the stats task, which is usually the most boring part. So let's get to more exciting stuff. And we'll start with my opinion. Don't all cheer at once. I don't use the Hellriegel much anymore, for a few reasons. Firstly, it's because I spend so much time doing reviews, builds, and whatever else, so I spend a lot of time with lots of different weapons. Then we have the fact that it's my most used weapon, as I used to use it a lot early on when I realized what I could do with it, and then eventually I realized how crazy it actually was, and decided to branch out from there and experience the rest of the game again. And then thirdly, I don't particularly like my comment section being full of people saying Hellriegel noob. So yeah, I've essentially avoided it for a long time. So what do I think of my time back with the Hellriegel after the TTK patch? Well, as you've seen from the footage, it went pretty well. Picking up kills, at least at short range, was absolutely no issue at all. Obviously it's an SMG, so this is supposed to be the case, but I can say that it genuinely feels easy to use this weapon in a lot of cases. Perhaps it's a mix of its rate of fire, its recoil model, and its damage. Maybe it's that the 60 rounds with this thing is pretty damn forgiving for when you miss shots. Whatever it is, the Hellriegel still feels easy to me, but not as easy as it used to feel. And this is predominantly due to an increased feeling of kick, a reduction in effectiveness at range, and also that a lot of other weapons are now a lot more lethal than they used to be. I can explain this in two ways. Firstly, in terms of a comparison with all of the weapons in the game, and secondly, in terms of just those available to the assault class. Let's go with the former to begin with. One reason the Hellriegel doesn't feel as potent to me now as it did before is due to medic rifles. Medic rifles feel very strong now across a huge range of engagements. Now, I covered this when the patch happened, and I said that I didn't think medic rifles were overpowered, and I'm still not ready to go as far as saying that they are. But if any class was closest to reaching overpowered status, I'd say it's the medic class. The Hellriegel can't compete with medic rifles at mid-range all that well now. If you have two players of equal skill at mid-range, one using a Hellriegel and the other using, let's say, an autoloading extended or maybe a Farquhar Hill, the guy using the medic rifle wins that engagement. And you may well be sat there saying, well, good, that's how it should be. And I would agree, but that's part of why the Hellriegel doesn't feel as crazy now. It can't perform outside of what most of us would consider to be an appropriate range quite as well as it used to, because other weapons are now better there. A second part of that though is that the Hellriegel doesn't feel like it has the close range advantage against medic rifles that it used to. And not just the close quarters medic weapons, a lot of the medic options are now very good up close. So the Hellriegel feels worse by comparison because it's weaker outside of decent range and inside it, where it's supposed to be a lot stronger. Plus, medics can heal while rushing by using the heal pouches, which has given me cause to produce an up and coming video, which I'll give you a sneak peek of here. Isn't she a beauty? So if you fancy seeing that and you're new here, then I guess it would be sensible to hit subscribe, eh? Self-promotion. So what about now comparing the Hellriegel with just other assault weapons? Well, I'd say that the Hellriegel is still a top tier choice. Its killing potential, ease of use, and massive amount of available rounds sees to this. But I would say that there's a new contender in town. Not everyone will agree, but this section is purely my opinion. So the SMG 0818 is now a monster if you ask me. It's just so good. It can spray people down, it can compete at decent range, and it has even more available rounds. That said, the Hellriegel still doesn't particularly have any weaknesses. It's good at a lot of things and will continue to suit how a lot of the player base likes to play. It's still good from the hip and pretty easy to use from ADS if you can work the recoil out. So do I think that the Hellriegel is still a strong choice for the assault class? Yes, for sure, easily. But is it the strongest? Well, I'd have to say those are now muddy waters. We'll come to more concrete statements when we reach our final verdict. But for now, we move to task 3, where you join me for a live commentary using the Hellriegel 1915 factory. Let's do this. Okay, we're in. There are some really suspect looking pings in this lobby, but hopefully that's not going to cause too much of an issue. And we're probably not going to get that high a score because no one's joining the squad that we're in. But hopefully we'll be able to show what the Hellriegel is or isn't capable of doing now. Let's just see if we can cap this B flag up first though. You know, still got to play for the team. Alright, B is ours. See if we can come across anyone down here. This guy's being pushed. Okay, taking him down. It does feel a little odd. I don't know if you can see that it's lagging, but it feels a little strange to when you play. A little strange to when you play. Succinct wordage on show. And get good guy. Come on, give me something to do. Nothing. Oh, someone's capping this. I'm hitting someone with gas. I've killed someone with gas. Okay, no effort required apparently. I cleared it, boys. I did, did heroic things like throw something that killed someone without me being there. See if we can take you down. Okay, it's lagging so hard. Thank you. They're around the back here. Do I just... Yeah. Yes, I do. This could be a massive... Oh, shoot. Okay. Flank-a-rooney. The flank of dreams. How do I get up to this guy? I don't know, because I'm not a camper, so I don't know how you get up here. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Never mind. Cue 5 million people in the chat now saying, he does camp. He does camp. I've seen it. It's called sensible positioning. Okay? It's called sensible positioning. I need ammo, please. Any supports? Can I see him? Yes. I wasted some of my precious bullets. Are there any supports? There is one support that I can see on our team. I'm not going to get any ammo back, am I? I'm going to have to die to get more Hellriegel bullets. Let's see if we can hunt down these guys camping over here. 11 bullets left. There's people over here. I can hear it. I can hear war noises. War sounds. I'm basically the David Attenborough of narrating Battlefield. I can't really waste my 11 bullets on you. Alright, let's draw him in. I can see him on radar. It's just... Gee, I was doing something! Selfish. I didn't consider how campy the enemy team might be, so... Kills are a little hard to come by right now. Got one. Oh, God. Where did you guys come from? Well, I had no ammo left anyway, so I guess that's fine. Right, let's see if we can come up behind C. Surprise some people. Okay, I think that proves from the points that I made earlier. My reactions were maybe slightly slow, my shots were a little off, but he dropped me lightning fast with that autoloading, and I felt like he didn't actually react that quickly to me. But overall, I guess you can't complain too much. It's clearly still a very, very good weapon considering how many rounds it's got available. Oh, they're on the hill again. Surprise, surprise. Don't kill me, please. I'm just a friendly enemy lying down. I'm weak. Oh, but he's not good, so it's fine. Although, if you're watching this video, you might be good. And oh God, I'm not good. I'm not good. I deserve everything I just got. Why was I reloading? Just talking about 60 rounds available, and I decided to reload. Also just realized I referred to the comment section earlier as chat. for some reason. You know, because I'm a genius. There's guys over here. I know this because they put a flare up. That's alright, you can flare me. I know you're a scout, so I feel comfortable pushing you. Wait, did someone just flare again? Somebody else just flared. I'm pretty sure someone just flared. Am I wasting my time now running around this edge of the map looking for a guy that I think is flared who might not be here? Yes, I am. I hear more flares. Where are these guys? Oh, this map's so campy. Oh, no, stop shooting me, please. I'm hunting down someone. No. Hello, I heard you behind me. Oh, God. Hi, can I get pushed by one person at a time, please? It seems way more fair. Just gonna sit here while I heal up. Like a little pansy. Alright, moving out. Alright, well, I guess that's that. It was a pretty quiet game. I didn't play all that well, but, you know, I'm not gonna fake this. That is what has happened in that game. A 3KD is alright, I guess. And yeah, I think we can all agree that it's still a good gun, but the medic rifles, there's something about them right now. Okay, there's something wrong with the state of Battlefield when I'm in a squad on my own, I get on the board with a squad score, it's under 1,000. Just, people play the game properly, please, please, please. And there's a few stats, fairly average game, but whatever, like I say, campy game, it happens. Let's get to the next section. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now covered the stats, my personal experiences, and we've jumped into a live gameplay. So what's the final verdict? Well, I can do my part of answering that here, and you can do yours in the comment section below. Share your feelings down there, but let's keep things respectful. It's just a game after all. So, personally, I think that the Hellriegel both is and isn't the OPriegel now. Firstly, it generally feels overpowered within the assault class to me because of its ease of use coupled with those 60 rounds. Perhaps reducing that figure would balance it out a little. Maybe if it were reduced to 40 or even just a reduction to 50 rounds, it might help, as we don't want to have a situation where the gun is unusable due to being nerfed too much. And I would have called for far more of a nerf previously, but the TTK 2.0 patch has helped to balance this thing out a bit. If you're repeatedly dying to the weapon, then you're likely going to think it's wildly overpowered. But if you stop and analyze things, it's genuinely not as powerful as it used to be when compared with other options. And this is why I partially don't think it's overpowered, because I don't think it's, one, the most powerful weapon in the assault class anymore. I do genuinely think the SMG08 has taken that crown for me, and two, I don't feel like it's the most overpowered example of a weapon in the game now, as I feel like the medic rifles have comfortably overtaken versatile SMGs as the standout weapon. I'm going to say that the Hellriegel is no longer the OPriegel, but it is still very close to it. If you agree or disagree, then it's perfectly fine. Again, that's what the comment section is for. With all of that said, we now need to quickly shoot over to the Board of Awesome, show our respect to the fantastic people who support the channel on Patreon. They do so simply because they want to help to keep the channel going, and it's just massively appreciated, especially during these early stages of the channel's growth, and with YouTube being such a tough platform currently, so thanks to all of you on here. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, then the link to the Patreon page will be in the description, as well as in my pinned comment, where you can support the channel from as little as $1 a month if you so wish. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos, and feel free to like, favorite, and subscribe. I'm Get Good Guy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.